India today has been consistently tracking about what's happening in Iran and Israel. This is not just about two countries. This can engulf other nations, and of course, it's about the safety of Indians too in both Israel and Iran. Joining me, Shivani Sharma for the latest on that. Shivani, let's go one by one. What are you picking up about the latest developments that are coming in? Do you see any sort of de-escalation in the days to come, or perhaps it's going to be only increasing?
Pooja, what we are seeing is an accelerated targeting by Israel inside Tehran, especially the targeted attacks on the commanders of not only the intelligence but also the wartime commanders. And today, Ali Shadmani has been eliminated. That's what has been the highlight of the day in terms of Israel's attack. And we've also seen that even as we speak in Tehran, there are more missile attacks by Israel, Pooja. And Israel is very clearly saying that it is very focused in its targeting, because it is targeting the officials who are involved in the nuclear projects of Iran. It is targeting the officials of intelligence in Iran. It is targeting the right hand of the supreme leader of Iran. And it says that it's not targeting or engaging with any other targets, including the civilians in Iran. So there is a very focused operation that Israel claims that it is taking on all these officials based on the intelligence inputs that it has been gathering. And it's very significant, Pooja, that in last 5 days, there are several such officials, several such top commanders of Iran's army who have been eliminated by Israel, and it goes on to take this operation further. So we do not see any signs of de-escalation as of now. And adding on to this escalation ladder, we have seen the reactions that have come in from United States. President Donald Trump, who says that Iran must give up. It will come only with an end. So he is expecting a total end.
So what's the unpredictability and uncertainty coming in about how USA's role could be seen, whether there's going to be a direct military involvement? And I want to now talk about, Shivani, as we put out these names on our screen, these are all top military commanders or advisors to the supreme leader or a nuclear scientist. Why do you think Israel is going after the top military commanders, nuclear scientists, and of the nature that can possibly impact the military of Iran?
See, Israel has been very clear when it started the Operation Rising Lion. It was very clear that it wanted Iran to just decentralize or to stop the nuke efforts that it has been making. And it is being said that the nuclear program of Iran was quite close to completion. And that's why Israel chose to attack only those officials who were associated to that project. And that's why the first day we saw that 4 important nuclear sites were targeted by Israel. The officials, the commanders who were managing these sites, they were neutralized and eliminated. And the commanders of the military, the top aides of the supreme leader of Iran, have been chosen to be neutralized or eliminated. That's what the Israelis have been claiming, that they just want Iran to stop its nuke power or nuke efforts. It doesn't want Iran to gather that nuclear project or power that US also says is very close, that was very close to completion. So that was the issue, and that is why Israel purposely, focusedly chose these officials, the top commanders, not only of Iran's military, but also the scientists who were involved with the nuclear projects in Iran. Pooja.
Shivani, stay on with me, because as we go in detail about what precisely is the impact here, I want to tell you about the nuke facilities. Because remember, Israel may not have acknowledged, even though there is a speculation they have nuclear arsenal, but Iran has. We know about the arsenal and the facilities. And that is why what you see on your screens is very important. These are different locations where either believed to be or has been confirmed that the vicinity of the nuclear facilities of their program, where Iran has set it up, has been hit. Now, Natanz, for example, is very specific one. Khontab 2, Isfahan, again, damage has been seen. Fordo is going to be very interesting. Largely for now, according to our research, it suggests that it's been largely undamaged. However, there's been an attempted strike, and it could be very important. Experts have also said that you could need help from the United States of America and their arsenal to be able to hit Fordo if required. So the clarity not coming in about the kind of damage that has been impacted on Fordo. And then there is Tehran Research Center. But you know of the casualties that have happened of nuclear scientists. You know that the vicinity, at least on the first two, have been hit most definitely. Now, like I mentioned Fordo to you, why could that be difficult as a strike even for Israel, even though they have been attempting it? One, it's a nuke facility that is deep into the mountain, into the territory, has a lot of underground structures as well, buried 80 meters underground. Israel would need the United States of America's assistance, which means basically their arsenal, their aircrafts and more to be able to strike. Does the USA want to get involved, even though it has been an arch rival with Iran, to provide military support to Israel and then get into the war directly? It is basically, to tell you, USA's GBU-57 bunker busters that might be of help. But what if that's not enough either? Israel can try and strike the ventilation facilities. All of this is important for you to understand because it looks like for Israel, their nuke facilities are a direct target. For Iran, they've been after their nuclear program. Israel and other countries in the region, in the United States of America, in Europe, believe that they do not want Iran to have their nuclear program. Iran, meanwhile, has now said that they want to become a part of what the wider range discussions have been